Hello there, lads and lassies. Welcome to Slay the Princess, the Pristine cat. Yes. I've never played this before. I'd just like to say thank you to Bobarp. This was a Christmas gift from him. And yeah, shall we just get into it? Remember, this is a horror game, folks, so if you're not into horror or anything like that, then, well, you know, whatever, watch it anyway, it's fun. Chapter 1, The Hero and the Princess. I've heard this is fully voice acted, so I probably won't be doing too much talking.
In the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Oh, a princess, you say?
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Well, that's a bit of an issue. Okay, so the end of the world? What are you talking about? Hang on, move this mouse out of the way. There we go. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's see which one we can do here. Wow, there's a lot of choices. Okay. Yeah, killing Princess does seem kind of bad though, doesn't it?
Does it? Are you a monarchist?
No.
Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
Well, yeah, I suppose you've got a point there. Okay, have you ever considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up?
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock.
Alright.
Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
Okay. Right, I guess, I mean, do I get some sort of reward for doing this?
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
Okay. Okay, can you tell me what my prize is going to be for doing a good job?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
I don't know, I can imagine pretty wild shit. I mean, I really can. Okay, okay, thanks for telling me what to do.
Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Okay, well, we're going to proceed into the cabin, I guess.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
Ooh.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Well, I suppose. Right, let's enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favour.
Kind of pushy, aren't you, Mr. Narrator?
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Okay. Hi.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
Why, is the price right?
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
I haven't decided yet.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare.
Ha!
It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
I'm gonna keep the knife, I think.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
Oh well, yeah. I'm glad I kept the knife now.
Your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
True.
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Okay, I'm not dropping the blade.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Ha! Fine. Okay. I'm gonna squint at the princess while holding onto the blade.
You stare at the princess, squinting. She squints back. The two of you are gonna do this forever, aren't you?
Probably. I'm gonna squint even harder.
You squint even harder.
Yeah.
So does she.
Of course.
At least nobody's dying right now.
True.
You're going to have to make a choice. You can't keep squinting forever. Eventually, someone is going to have to blink.
I'm gonna slay the princess.
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through.
Ooh, no. Not
A
my
moment of
doubt.
distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw.
No, not my jaw.
It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured.
It hurts just a little bit, yes.
Holy shit, that hurt! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit.
Wow, so she's pretty dangerous.
We can still turn this around.
Can we? Can we? Let's lock her in the basement for now and see if we can find anything else.
Are you serious?
Maybe?
It's a good idea. We've taken some bad hits, but we've dealt some too. She has to be feeling it more than we are.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
regroup upstairs. If we're lucky, maybe she'll just bleed out.
Maybe.
Fine. You make a mad dash to the basement stairs, the princess's chains rattling as she tries to chase you, but pulling taut much too soon for her to catch up.
Yeah.
Do you really think you can just walk out of here?
Yeah. No, run, mostly.
She steps towards you, ignoring her chains. They creak and strain as she pulls against them until finally they break.
Ooh.
The links clatter to the floor. Useless.
Uh-oh.
She's free.
Okay.
Hurry.
Okay.
You push your broken body as she closes in and just barely manage to pass the threshold of the basement doorway before she catches up to you.
Okay.
You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade.
Yeah.
Okay, we can make this work. She has an awful wound and we have all the time in the world. Playing jailkeeper for a while might make things a little easier.
Maybe.
You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not like this little door I'll hold for very long anyways. It's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
Mm-hmm.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare.
Yeah.
As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forgive it. You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Wherever you are, you're not a princess. Go ahead and waste your energy. I'll be waiting for you.
I wouldn't be so sure about outlasting me. You're so brittle. So go ahead, rest, do whatever you think will help you be prepared. But know that I'm coming for you, and that when I find you, I will make you hurt.
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way. Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
Okay.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach. Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
I'd say better luck next time, but we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends. I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Oh, okay.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
And that's where we'll leave it for today. But thank you all so much for watching. That was unusual. Yes. We'll play more of that soon. Remember to check out my previous video on Resident Evil as well. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, everyone. Thank you again to Bob Bart for this, and I will catch you next time. But until then, bye-bye.